There is a question we have all asked. Are we alone in this universe? Well, despite our ever-increasing technology and knowledge, we do not have a definitive answer to that question. Now, there are two very strong and popular signs of believed alien life, and that is the WOW signal and the Black Knight, but I have already mentioned those in previous videos, so here are 5 of what people say prove or strongly suggest that we humans are not alone. The link between ancient Egypt and extraterrestrials has long been discussed, and we are all familiar with the speculation about alien intervention when it comes to the Egyptian pyramid design and construction. But whether you believe in that theory or not, there is one thing that people swear shows strong signs aliens did visit Earth during those times: the Egyptian hieroglyphics, which are literary characters in a symbolic alphabetic form of writing. And one of the most interesting discovered hieroglyphics that many say has links with extraterrestrials is the 2,000 to 3,000 year old so-called Abydos helicopter. It was found in an ancient temple that was built by Seti I and his son Ramses II in Abydos, Egypt. Now, looking at it, what's the first thing you can spot? Well, there's no denying that this looks like a helicopter, this looks like some sort of boat or yacht, this looks like a ship of some sort, and that looks like what many say is a futuristic ship or glider. So this was found on a stone slab that was supporting the ceiling. It was studied and concluded that it was nothing more than an accidental illusion caused by overlapping hieroglyphics, where plaster had been set onto the stone to replace the writing underneath, and that was it. It was sort of left and not talked about again, but there are a few researchers who say there is much more to this. They concluded that if the Egyptians wanted to overlap any existing writing, they would simply replace the limestone. It's believed the hieroglyphics would have been engraved on the ground and then elevated up into position, so if a change needed to be done, researchers say they could have just replaced the block and wouldn't have to replaster it. Then there are those who do not believe it has anything to do with ancient technology. They say if there were vehicles like the ones believed to be shown, then surely there would be a lot more evidence of them and not just on one single inscription. So what do you think of these mysterious hieroglyphics? Is it proof aliens came down during the ancient Egyptian years, or is it nothing more than a coincidence? Astronauts. It's always fascinating when an astronaut argues the existence of aliens, because if anyone has more of a chance of seeing an extraterrestrial, it's going to be astronauts who venture into space. Now, the rumour is that if an astronaut witnesses a UFO or an extraterrestrial being, they cannot report this to the press. But that hasn't stopped them, because over the years, many astronauts have told of encounters with aliens. In June 1965, when astronauts Ed White and James McDivitt were passing over Hawaii in a Gemini spacecraft, they say they witnessed a strange-looking metallic object with long arms sticking from it. McDivitt took pictures, but he said that it did not capture what he could see properly due to the glare and the grubby window. The rumour is that he also took a video, but this has never been released. McDivitt has said that some UFO promoters did exaggerate the story, but debunkers did also underestimate it. Another sighting by astronauts happened in December of the same year. Gemini astronauts James Lovell and Frank Borman saw an unidentified spacecraft some distance from their capsule. The Gemini Control Center told him that he was seeing the final stage of their own booster rocket, but Frank confirmed that he could see the booster rocket and the unidentified object was something completely different, but what exactly it was is a mystery. Now, whether you believe Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong's moon landing was a hoax or not, they both apparently reported that aliens have a base on the moon and were told to get off and stay off. According to unconfirmed reports, both Neil and Buzz saw UFOs shortly after landing on the moon on the 21st of July 1969. According to former NASA employee Otto Binder, unnamed radio hams with their own VHF receiving facilities that bypassed NASA's broadcasting outlets picked up the following exchanges. What was it? What the hell was it? That's all I want to know. What's there? These babies are huge, sir, enormous. Oh my god, you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, there are other spacecraft out there, lined up on the far side of the crater edge. They're on the moon watching us. According to former naval officer and Russian UFO researcher, Neil Armstrong relayed the message to Mission Control that 2 large mysterious objects were watching them after having landed, but the message was censored and never heard by the watching public. NASA's cover-ups. The fact that NASA conceal information from the public has led many to believe that they are aware of the existence of alien life. And one of the most talked about cases of a NASA cover-up comes from Dr. Edgar Mitchell. He was part of the Apollo 14 space mission in 1971, and during his 2 lunar missions, he spent 33 hours on the moon. Dr. Mitchell said that he was aware of several UFO visits during his career, but each one had been covered up. He He said that workers at the space agency had described aliens as little people who look strange to us. Dr. Mitchell stated that their technology is far more sophisticated than ours, and if they were hostile, we would be gone by now. He is also told that the believed Roswell alien crash of 1947 was real, and the reason it was covered up was because the US did not want the Soviet to know of the craft's technology, and they did not know if the apparent alien being was hostile or not. Apparently, officials from NASA have commented on Dr. Mitchell's statements by saying, NASA does not track UFOs and is not involved in any sort of cover-up about alien life on this planet or anywhere in the universe. Dr. Mitchell is a great American, but we do not share his opinions on this issue. But Edgar continues to claim that aliens and alien craft are real and is positive that we are being watched right now. Another thing people more recently have pointed out is the International Space Station's HD live feed is often cut when objects are seen in space. In 2014, NASA allegedly cut the live feed coming from the Earth viewing cameras mounted on the space station just when a mysterious UFO appeared to hover over the Earth. UFO watchers claim that the drop-off in the live feeds as soon as a UFO comes into view is an obvious and deliberate attempt to hide what they believe are regular sightings of alien spacecrafts observing Earth. Some say this is the moon or a lens flare, and others believe it's an alien craft. Also, UFO watcher Toby Lund apparently spotted a UFO on the live stream outside the space station before the stream was interrupted for around 15 seconds. Needless to say, it's certainly strange that NASA cut the video when things like this happen. Maybe it's just a coincidence due to them experiencing technical difficulties, or maybe they know something that we don't. The size of our universe. Now, even those who do not believe in the UFO or alien photos and videos going around, there are many that say, due to the sheer magnitude of the universe, it's impossible for there not to be another life form. To understand why people say alien life must be out there, you must first realize how big the universe is. It's believed that the diameter of the observable universe is around 28 billion parsecs, which is around 93 billion light years. Now, a single light year is just under 6 trillion miles, which is a ridiculous number. So 6 trillion times 93 billion. And don't forget, that is just what we can observe. And it's not that we don't have the technology to observe any further, it's just that light from other objects hasn't had enough time to reach Earth since the beginning of the cosmological expansion. And with all that, astronomers at the University of Auckland have said that it's believed there are around 50 sextillion planets in the observable universe. Now, I will leave you to decide whether you think that only one out of those 50 sextillion planets can harbour any form of life. Some believe that civilizations are currently existing on Earth-like planets right alongside us, and others believe we could even be the bacterias of another life form. Add all of that with the possibility of infinite or multi-dimensions and you take things to a whole nother level. Whether you believe in any of those theories or not, there is absolutely no denying that the universe is incredible and has left us with many unanswered questions. The Men in Black. Now, although this sort of ties in with the thought that NASA are covering things up, the Men in Black deserve a talk on their own. The Men in Black are thought to be government agents who harass or threaten UFO and alien witnesses to keep them quiet about what they have seen. Over the years, there have been many myths flying around about them, and whether they exist or not is still a mystery. But if they do, then many say it proves that there is something out there that the government do not want us to know about. Now, whether their existence can be confirmed, there are tons of reports of people believing they have had encounters with them, like the one told by Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a respected family physician from Old Orchard Beach, Maine, who was studying a UFO case in September 1976, when the phone rang and a man identified himself as a representative of a New Jersey UFO organization. The man asked him if he could come to the doctor's house to talk to him about the UFO case. He said that he could come around, and after the call ended, Herbert got up from his chair to turn on the lights, and the man was already in his house walking up the stairs. Hopkins was so shocked at how he was in the house without knocking in such a short amount of time, and was even more shocked at the man's strange appearance. He said in an interview he wore a neatly tailored black suit, black shoes, black socks, a white shirt with black tie, and a black hat. He also told reporters that the man was as bald as an egg, and had no eyebrows or eyelashes. Herbert said he could tell the man was wearing lipstick, as when he wiped his mouth with the back of his glove, his lips were smeared and there was red lipstick on his glove. His voice was apparently passive, as if it was a machine, and they began talking about the UFO case when this strange man ordered Herbert to destroy all the evidence he had gathered about the case. He apparently got to his feet and said very slowly, "My energy is running low, must go now, goodbye," before steadily walking down the stairs and disappearing. Dr. Hopkins was left terrified and has no idea what happened that night. Another very unique case started on the 14th of October 2009, when two witnesses believed they saw a triangular unknown aerial object outside of a hotel, and a UFO case file was opened. Then, several weeks later, two unidentified men in black visited the same hotel looking for the two witnesses who saw this UFO. The two witnesses were not there at the time, so the men in black harassed the hotel staff for approximately 30 minutes before leaving. Those who spoke to the men said they were completely bald with no eyebrows or eyelashes. They apparently had relatively big, strange eyes and did not blink once whilst talking. Now, there is no real proof whether or not the video footage and reports are a hoax, or whether it really did happen and the men in black are out there trying to keep us from knowing too much.